Watch Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat.
Hello, everyone. It is I. It's Dan and Dago here. And the last time you heard from me, I was a little annoyed with the Chargers' loss against the Dallas Cowboys. Well, mainly annoyed at those dang zebras trying to. But you know what? Don't get me started. I'm not going to go there. It's a new week. Week 3 to be exact. And the Chargers head to KC for an AFC West showdown on Sunday. The Compas, Fernando, and Gilbert will provide the best coverage of the Titans going at it. Herbert versus Mahomes. No one does it better than the Compas. They have the best reporting and analysis, so look for their stories at Sports Illustrated and the OC Registrar and the Los Angeles Daily News. And keep listening because we have another great episode of Compas on the Beat. The Compas will share their thoughts on the Week 2 games and look forward to the Week 3 matchup. That reminds me, don't forget to check out the post-game episode of Compas on the Beat on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Gilbert and Fernando and myself share our takeaways from the loss to the dang Cowboys. I know. Many of you don't want to revisit that, but how are you going to get better if you don't check the tape? So listen in this case and let the Compas tell you where the Chargers go from here. But the Compas don't just stick to football. I heard over there through the grapevine that Fernando has some thoughts on the shouting match between the Padres star players. Boy, what happened there? The baseball playoffs are right around the corner. It's heating up. It all makes sense. Tempers are starting to flare. Anyway, make sure to subscribe to Compas on the Beat on YouTube and turn on notifications. You never know who's going to be stopping by to join the Compas. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at Compas on the Beat. Now let's get to the best damn podcast in the universe. Play the music, Nando!
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I am Fernando Ramirez, Chargers beat reporter for Sports Illustrated. With me, as always, is my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, Chargers beat reporter for the OC Register and LA Daily News. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? It's good to be back indoors. The last time I spoke to you, we were outside in the parking lot. Planes kept coming by. I had to shout really loud, but now I'm back into my indoor voice to do another great episode of Compas on the Beat. Talk some football, maybe revisit that kind of ugly Chargers Cowboys game. But some people kind of like the little back and forth between the Cowboys and Chargers. And Fernando, last time we had a Compas episode, you had a controversial topic about what defines a thriller football game. Cowboys, Chargers. Was that a thriller for you?
Crapshoot. It was bad. Like, the ending was just so terrible. Like, missed field goal, interception in the end zone. I don't know what Dallas was doing right before. I mean, I guess they trust Greg Zuerlein, but I didn't know what they were doing in those final seconds. Like, they let so much time tick off. They call a timeout. Greg Zuerlein comes out, hits a 56-yarder. I thought there was an earthquake going on at SoFi because of all the stomping I think fans were doing. It was pretty crazy the whole game. I mean, it was an interesting game. I just thought it was kind of crap. Like, it was just like, I thought we were gonna get, and I had predicted 38-27. I think I thought it was gonna be some back and forth touchdown, boom, boom. But like, I thought it was honestly gonna be like a high powered game. And no, I mean, honestly, what is it? The Chargers held opponents to 37 points, but I think they've only scored 37 points, so they're pretty much dead even right now. I don't know. I didn't think it was that good of a game.
Fernando, I respect it because you're consistent. You didn't like the Ravens and the Raiders because there was too many mistakes. Like you mentioned, it was a crap show on top of crap show. And that's not a thriller for you. So there were a lot of mistakes for the Chargers, a lot of corrections that they need to make because that was an ugly game. So you're consistent. Maybe unlike the officials and illegal formation, illegal shift, maybe not consistent. I don't know, Fernando.
That's been Daniel Popper's leading the charge on that one. That one's not even me.
He's like looking at the entire play-by-play to see who's moving on the motion. So
exactly,
props to him. I respect the hustle. But yeah, it wasn't consistent. You are Fernando when it comes to thriller. We'll get into it.
Sunday night was a
I was
thriller.
gonna say we're gonna get into that one. I think I know your answer about that one. But Fernando, before we move on to week 2 and get into more actually a thrilling game, Chiefs and Ravens. Real quick, what can the Chargers do to correct their mistakes? Because I keep going, our attention is on the offense only averaging 18.5 points per game in the first 2 games. They can't get over 20 points. But this defense isn't doing too well either. Like you mentioned, Fernando, they're bending and not breaking, but this rushing defense is a problem. Even the week before that, they had some issues with Antonio Gibson. And this week, they didn't have Justin Jones, and that really hurt them against Tony Pollard and Zeke. So, for me, I'll go to defense, and I think they really got to fix up that interior of the defensive line and really be physical and stop letting these teams go for, maybe $180 on the ground.
Yeah, no, definitely, Gilbert. I mean, you could definitely tell they missed Justin Jones. They missed Chris Harris Jr. It was just, it was one of those things where the Cowboys literally got everything that they wanted. I think I saw that Pro Football Focus rated Zach Martin as a 95. That means he was literally taking on anybody and everybody, and he was knocking them down. So honestly, it was a pretty solid. Pretty solid showing from the Cowboys. I mean, I didn't expect it. I don't think a lot of people expected the Cowboys to come in here and do what they did. So I was pretty impressed by them. I don't know what they can do. I mean, honestly, it's not going to be a quick fix. It's going to take some time. I wonder what their plan is going into this weekend, just because, you saw what happened. I saw what happened. And it's like, can you stop Clyde Edwards-Helaire from going crazy? Like, to me, if I was the Chiefs, why even risk Patrick Mahomes? Just have Clyde Edwards-Helaire run the football and see how much you can get. No, I'm being honest. Like, it's just one of those things where you're kind of like, well, why even risk him? So it's I don't know what to make of it. It's only game 2. So I'm not really going to be like, oh my God, like that's this is how the Chargers are going to be, because anything can change. So, but I am going to keep a close eye on this, just because, man, if this continues, you have Nick Chubb, you have Josh Jacobs, who obviously they don't know if he's going to play this weekend, but you have him coming up on that Monday Night Football. I'm pretty sure he'll play that game. After that, you have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt used to give these guys a lot of problems when he used to be with Kansas City. So I'm just saying, man, this only gets harder as the season progresses.
Yeah, hopefully for the Chargers, they get Justin Jones back next week, and he really showed his value by not being there. But still, even if you get past what Staley calls it the phase 1 or the first level, you still got Kenneth Murray who's supposed to be this big middle linebacker, preventing that. I know he had an ankle injury, but you have Kenneth, you have Joey, you have Limbaugh, you have Derwin. You still have the guys to not be allowing so many big chunk plays on the ground. So the Chargers defense did adjust the final 3 quarters by not letting them score. But I think you mentioned it for now. There was like no punting in this game, so both sides were getting their yards and racking it up, but they weren't finishing in the red zone. So the Chargers are doing well defensively in the red zone, but they're allowing these teams to move up and down the field. And when you have so many star players, even young guys who are first-round picks, second-round picks who are supposed to develop, they're not doing it so far. But I'm going to go with what Staley said about the offense. That's going to take some time. He's also new to the defense, so I'm going to give him some time to kind of get this defense going. But Staley and the defense are struggling right now, especially on the ground game. But they're doing okay when it comes to points per games allowed. But you want to be one of the best defenses in the NFL, you got to stop the run first.
Yeah, no, and credit honestly to one of the young players on the team, Asante Samuel Jr. I think he was rated by I think his quarterback rating right now when quarterbacks throw at him is 46.8, I believe. That's really damn good when you're a rookie corner who just came in. We saw a little bit of struggles in the preseason, and so far he's done pretty well, and he's gone up against good Terry McLaurin. He's had to face am I saying his name right?
McLaurin.
Okay, sorry. McLaurin, he's had to face CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and really, like you said, Gilbert, during Compas on Sunday, we saw a little bit of CD Lamb in the first half. In the second half, he was kind of quiet. So, and that's not because the Cowboys were running the football. It was because they were going more to their tight ends, their running backs. And that's another thing, Gilbert. This weekend, I mean, Mahomes could literally sit back and just dump it up to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I feel like that's another area where the Chargers struggled, being able to hold down the running backs. Maybe that was, and Derwin won't say this, but maybe it was because Derwin was in the slot helping out as their star and not having the freedom of being able to roam around, go up. Because this weekend, Gilbert, they're going to need Chris Harris Jr. back. They're going to need Derwin on Travis Kelce the whole game and be like, hey, dude, we need you to take this guy away. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But yeah, no, it's definitely, it's like the Chargers said, it's time to turn the page, look forward. Kansas City and them are now 1-2. And the surprising start, Gilbert, is, should we go there first? Should we say the surprise of the division, or do you want a quick recap of, or do you want to talk Ravens Chiefs?
Do you mind if I say one more thing about Chargers Cowboys and then we'll move on? I know we have to turn the page like you just said, but I'm very fascinated also with the offense. I wanted to talk to defense because I feel like everybody on Chargers Twitter is focused on the offense and Justin Herbert and not scoring points. I wanted to kind of make sure, hey, the defense is also a little sluggish, but I am gonna, it makes sense what Brandon Staley is saying when I hear him say, hey, this takes time, to have a new play caller, a new offensive line. Jared Cook is new as well. A lot of playmakers are new. So you look at a year ago with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, obviously Tom Brady's on a different level and they have a lot of weapons there, but they needed some time to kind of shake off, maybe, what they're not familiar and they don't have the chemistry, and then now they're rolling. So when you look at it that way, okay, there's only been 2 games. It's not freak out. Then you start looking at the throws that Justin Herbert is making. They're unbelievable. They're unreal. He has laser throws, these nice arching throws, or throws on a rope. He is who we thought he is, a superstar. And he's getting the yards. It's just, I think the execution where they're not familiar with each other, that's not working. So far, I'm okay with the Lombardi play calling. Yeah, they're not going the 40 yards, 50-yard touchdowns that we saw a year ago. But they're getting big chunk plays, 20 yards after each other and moving up and down the field. But it's execution. I don't think Charger fans will start freaking out. And it's, I don't know, maybe we could touch on this too. But as soon as I tweeted out that Staley's going to go with Storm Norton at right tackle, my comments were flooded with people freaking out. What is Brandon Staley doing? Why is he starting Storm Norton? It's 2 games, people. I know people are freaking out. There's a lot of mistakes. They got to correct them, but let's pump the brakes a little bit.
It's interesting. I mean, I get home and obviously Daniel had taken my parents to the airport, and he gets home and he explained to me what happened with Storm Norton. And that's the thing, is that, like, yeah, my brother's a fan, but I value his experience, him having played offensive line and everything. And I asked him what happened. He's like, look, what Storm was doing is he was backing up, thinking he's going to try and get around me with his speed. Let me beat him, get in front of him, and I'll be able to stop him. No, but I think a coach or Micah Parsons, one of the two, somebody told him, this guy's setting hard. You need to cut back inside. And that's what Micah was doing. So Storm would set back here, and Micah would just cut inside, and he would go inside. And that's when Herbert would have to roll out to his right and start doing stuff. So credit to the Cowboy, who, if it was Dan Quinn, if it was one of his coaches, or if it was Micah himself, but they noticed that Storm was doing the exact same thing every single time, setting hard, making sure he'd cut off Micah going around him, and Micah would just cut back inside. And Micah's a fast guy, so he could cut in quick. Now, the thing is, when he was going up against Montez Sweat and some of these other bigger guys, it might be a little bit easier for Storm just because they're the same size. He's able to kind of stop them a little bit. But when you have a smaller, quicker guy like Micah, they're gonna take advantage of Storm all day. So that's the real thing that was happening to him. And Gilbert, you talk about Justin Herbert. I see similarities from, well, not similarities, but last year it took him a little bit to kind of get jump started. It took the Chiefs, and I know he was a rookie, he was just coming in. It took him the Chiefs game, and it took him the Carolina Panthers game to really get jump started. So hey, maybe this is the game that this weekend that jump starts him. But when you go to Joe Lombardi, yeah, he's calling good games, but my thing is what's happening in the red zone that they can't get in it. I mean, I don't know. And Staley said maybe we should run the ball more. I don't know if that's the thing. You have a great quarterback. Be able to use them, but call different plays, change it up, do different things. I feel like they're running the exact same plays when they get in the red zone, and that's really what's hurting them. But I mean, we'll see how they call it this weekend. But yeah, no, that's what Dan and Diego was telling me about Storm Norton, that he was setting up way too high, and the dude would just cut back inside, and that was the biggest problem, and that's what led to him getting consistent pressure on Justin Herbert.
It kind of reminded me when I was staring at the matchup of Micah against Storm. It was like when you have a big guy on a point guard up top, and it's Kyrie Irving with the ball, and you have to cross him over.
James.
And LeBron just make him fall over. You got I got a big guy on me. He can't be over here. It's like when you're on a pick and roll and somebody got the big guy, you're gonna destroy him.
Exactly.
So being the smaller guy helped out Micah. But I like the analysis from Dan and Diego. Dan in the trenches. There should be a segment for him because what is he, a 2-time CIF champion? So he knows this. He knows this stuff. So Fernando, I agree with Dan, and it was an ugly day, but maybe facing some bigger guys might be okay for Storm. But I am ready to turn the page.
Okay, so let's start off first with I mean, we have to talk about this. The Ravens and the Chiefs, that's a thriller, Gilbert. That was it's funny. The Ravens pulled the Chiefs. The Chiefs were up. The Chiefs were up. They had a comfortable lead. They were up. And it's funny because in one of those, Gilbert's like, he turns to me and he goes, "Wait, what are you doing? Are you getting mesmerized by the Chiefs again?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, at one point I had finished my my story. I was already halfway done with my second one. And I was looking up and I was watching the Chiefs game, and I'm like, dang, like this is just, it's a lot of fun to watch. And the Chiefs are obviously up, and they start messing up. They start fumbling the football. They start doing all this stuff. And here come the Ravens, and the Ravens come back and end up winning the game. And you're kind of like, whoa, like I think that was the first time Lamar Jackson's beaten Patrick Mahomes. So that was a pretty interesting game. I thought it was fun. It was exciting. It was a thriller, Gilbert, because it came down to the end. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think, fumbled when the Chiefs were trying to win the football game. He fumbles, and the Ravens get the ball back. And then I remember it was 4th and 1, and John Harbaugh comes over and asks him, "Lamar, do you want to go?" And he says yes. And he's like, "All right." So they went for it on 4th down. They end up getting it, and they ice the clock, and that's the game. And the Chiefs and the Chargers are now in the cellar, while the Broncos and the Raiders are the ones starting off 2-0.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Chargers fans are screaming for more points, and the Chiefs are averaging 35 points per game, and they're both 1-1. So it depends on the matchup in the game every week and how you do it. But Fernando, more on this thriller stuff. I know I keep harping on it because I was shocked that you didn't like thriller on Monday Night Football. Ravens are back in it, and they got a thriller this time for you in your eyes. But okay, so how many mistakes can you make for it to be a crap show? Because the Chiefs fumbled, and they should have maybe probably won that game. So isn't that a mistake that should be considered a crap show? Or
because the Chiefs were up. They were the ones that were up in this game, and usually like Cleveland was up last week on the Kansas City. See, Kansas City is so close to being 0-2 to start the season. Last week Cleveland was up on them big, and they come back, and that's the thing with Kansas City. They can come back at a drop of a hat. But it was the Baltimore Ravens who came back, and I that's what a thriller is to me, is that the Baltimore Ravens were able to come back. They caused that fumble, and this is the incredible part, Gilbert, because storylines matter. The guy that caused the fumble on Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he was traded from Kansas City to Baltimore in that Orlando Brown trade.
Wow!
So there you go. That's what it's all about. That's what I like. That's little things like that, little snippets like that. That Chiefs or the Raiders and the Ravens, I mean, it was low-key, it was all right, but this game had everything that you wanted. It's funny, you're gonna get mad at me. Last Thursday night, I felt like that was a better game than the Ravens Raiders last Monday. The Washington football team and the Giants.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
that was a better game than what we got last Monday night, because it was back and forth. Taylor Heineke throws a pick, and you're like, oh crap, like, did he just give the game away? They end up getting the ball back. They go down the field and they score a touchdown. Or no, they got a field goal to win the game. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about. This one, it was the Raiders thought they had won the game at first. Then they get the ball at the 1-yard line, and instead of running the football, I think they throw it. It's an interception. And then the Ravens obviously do whatever the hell they did, and then the Raiders come back and they end up winning it, blah, whatever. This other stuff is fun. It's back and forth.
Okay, all right.
Playing chess, but yeah, no, I don't know. I really like the game. I thought it was really good, so
Okay,
I was all about it.
I think I have it. Okay, not too many penalties and not too many mistakes and crucial
And that's why I
situations.
got frustrated last night. There was a lot of penalties last night again in the who were they playing? It was the Packers and the
Lions.
Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really bad. By the way, I want to talk to ESPN right now. I want you to look into my eyes. I want to let you guys know the Mannings and the Compas, we would be great for television. The Manning and the Compas, we could do something incredible together, put this together. I think we could have a lot of fun. But no, honestly, I think what ESPN is, I think they've hit gold with the Manning brothers. They had Pat McAfee on. They had Patrick Willis on.
They stole the setup from us because it's like Compas just hanging around talking football, and that's pretty much what they had. You know, Russell Wilson, Brett Favre, Pat McAfee coming on chatting with the Manning brothers.
Yeah, no, it was hilarious. And Gilbert sends me this clip. He's like, your boy's story was actually funny. It was Pat McAfee's story where he said that he was at a casino and he had put some money on 1 and on 8, I think. And that Manning's like, no, bro. Like, he's like, he comes out like Jesus. The doors open up and here comes Peyton Manning. And he's like, put it on red 18. He put, like, a lot of people put their money on red 18 and they end up winning. And because it was red 18 and that the whole like casino went nuts. I know, it was hilarious.
Imagine being at that casino at that roulette table and like you see Peyton Manning walk in, you listen to what the number he chooses, and I throw all my money if I was in that situation.
This was the funniest part. Pat says that he's standing there and that he comes up, grabs his shoulders and says, put it on red 18. That everybody was turning and looking at him. They're like, why did Peyton Manning just come up and grab this?
Why does he know him?
Yeah, like why did they? He's like, nobody knew I was a kicker in the NFL, like a punter. So that was the even funniest part.
Yeah, no, that was a great little broadcast there. But you know, moving back to some AFC West teams, Fernando. I guess I keep calling you out, man. I know you could take the heat, but
I don't. No, I know what you're gonna ask me. I don't. Neither one.
Come on.
But if I had to buy one, it would be Denver.
Well, let me ask you. Let's focus on the Raiders, and I have two kind of questions for you. Yes, one is, are you now buying the Raiders? No. And two, are you finally taking serious their offense and their car, because they are a problem, Fernando? I keep telling you that offense is good score.
They're all right. I think they're good. They played Pittsburgh and they played Baltimore. I mean, I think we're going with the history of what their defenses used to be, and everybody thinks, oh, Ray Lewis, oh, Troy Polamalu. Everybody thinks that their defenses are still that good. They're not that good anymore. And I mean, the Raiders are good. They're a good football team, but there's something missing. And yeah, they're scoring points and everything, but I want to see what happens when they start playing Kansas City, when they even play Denver. Like, what's going to happen there with the way they're playing? I need to wait a little bit on the Raiders and kind of see what they're doing to really buy them. I know Joe Morley, our good friend, he keeps on messaging me every time the Raiders win. He messages me. I'm like, okay, dude, like, I'm like, you're making it seem like I'm over here like hating. I'm not. That's just I just don't buy the Raiders yet. I need to see a little bit more. Off of 2 weeks, I can't go off anything, because look, right now the Raiders could be 4-0 at the beginning of this, or to end this month. They could be 4-0, but then at the end of the season they could easily be 6-10 or 6-11 or whatever. Like, things could happen. So I'm waiting to see. I think they play the Dolphins this weekend, and I don't think Tua's going to play, so they'll probably be 3-0 heading into SoFi for that Monday night game against the Chargers. And that really, if the Chargers lose this weekend, that's going to be a make it or break it game for them.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it is a little too early to start buying teams, obviously, but I haven't wavered from the Derek Carr and the Raiders offense. I know Derek Carr doesn't get the respect that he wants. I know he's the type of guy that wants that. He hears what people are saying on social media, but he's been balling out. Probably the best 2-game stretch of his career. But you're right, Fernando. September is week 1 and week 2, so let's slow down there. Yeah. But I think this Derek Carr, I think he's going to keep doing what he's doing. Maybe not at this pace, but he's a guy who's spreading the ball around. He has Darren Waller when things go bad. That's a nice security blanket to have. Henry Ruggs is kind of finding his way still, but he still gets open. You could throw a bomb to him. You know, Brian Edwards, Zay Jones, Hunter Renfrow. I know these are not, sexy names that pop out, but Derek Carr is making it work. And I feel like this Raiders, offense is one of the best. And they didn't even have Josh Jacobs this week. They have Kenyon Drake. But to kind of go into your point on the Steelers defense, I think it is a good defense, but it's kind of and it's not a coincidence when TJ Watt went down, Derek Carr started lining it up. So there could be something there to it as well. So it's a little early for this Raiders team as a whole. And Big Ben is not looking too well. He's not really able to stretch the field. You have guys like Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster, and you don't have an arm to go downfield. That's going to be a problem all year for the Steelers.
That's why I thought it was interesting that, that Juju went back. I thought he would want to go somewhere where he could find a different core. I heard Kansas City was a team that was really looking at him hard, but I was surprised he didn't go elsewhere just because of him and the Juju Bees. I'm surprised they didn't go somewhere else because I really did think that they were gonna that he was gonna go somewhere else and try and rebuild his image in a sense, and not just be the TikTok star.
Well, it's tough for a wide receiver market because there's so many wide receivers out there, and you can't pay him top dollar. So he's like, you know what, I'm comfortable here. Maybe he's gonna bet on himself. But yeah, it's not looking good right now. But it's early. But I think the Raiders are gonna hang around and they're gonna give the Chargers fits. The two games they like to play each other. Really tough. And that Monday night game is coming down pretty fast. So you're right. If the Chargers lose to the Chiefs, and that's gonna be a big task for them. And they're 1-2. And you got Monday Night Football at SoFi against the Raiders, and there's gonna be a lot of Raider fans there. That's gonna be, I think, a must-win game for them. But I think the Raiders are a sneaky problem right now. But let's shift over to the Broncos because they're also 2-0. These Broncos and Teddy Bridgewater, man. I've been impressed with Teddy. He lost Jerry Jeudy, but then Cortland Sutton kind of finally went back to what he was doing in 2019. I don't know if you remember, Fernando, but Cortland Sutton was a problem for the Chargers in 2019. When I think they lost both of those games, and Cortland Sutton was a beast.
No, yeah, I remember that. I mean, and Cortland Sutton's a really good player. I think last year he had a torn ACL or Achilles or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
No, they're doing a good job. The only thing is they've played Jacksonville and they've played the Giants.
Yeah, got a point there. Yeah,
like it's I need to see more. But man, Patrick Surtain had a good interception on Sunday against Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how, and if I had to buy one of them right now, I guess I'd lean, like, I know I said the Broncos a little bit ago, but now that I started thinking about it, I probably would buy the Raiders a little bit more.
Okay.
Just because the Raiders have
Joe Morley is like, thank you.
They've played two better opponents, but the Broncos, I mean, I need to see it against somebody good. Like, and they play the Jets this weekend. Well, I'm not going to be able to see it against somebody good. So we're going to have to wait a little bit, but I mean, literally the Raiders and the Broncos this weekend can be 3-0, and the Chargers and the Chiefs could be battling it out to try and win one game to be 2-1, and the other one's going to be 1-2. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be an interesting matchup, but right now that's why they went with Teddy Bridgewater. He takes care of the football while Drew Lock is more of like, oh, let me dance, let me do some kind of weird stuff, but then also I'll go and throw 3 interceptions. So I think that's why they ended up going with Teddy Bridgewater, because he's a safer guy and he's letting it rip. I mean, he's letting it rip down the field. He's doing a lot of really good things. So I think that's why they went with him. Now, the only thing is going to be Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb, I think, is going to be out for a little bit. He went out with that ankle injury that he initially came in questionable with going into Sunday's game. He got hurt again. So that is going to be something to monitor. If Bradley Chubb's not there, can Von Miller, I know Von Miller from a couple of years ago could keep up, and he would be the destroyer on that left side, on that right side. But, I mean, without Bradley Chubb, can Von Miller hold up that pass rush? That's going to be interesting come this weekend. But, yeah, no, I'm definitely speaking of this weekend, though, are you excited for these games? I mean, we're going to be in Kansas City. I know that. But, Gilbert, there's going to be a game that's going to distract the crap out of me when we're writing, and I know which one it is. It is the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers are heading to LA to face the Rams. That game's at 125. That game's going to be distracting to me while we're writing. I know it.
Our game is 10 a.m. Pacific.
10 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, so, that's a bad window. You're not going to watch anything. But knowing you're gonna sneak in a peek on Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford.
I need to. Because, I mean, and Gilbert can call me out. I know he's going to call me out. I'm not sold on the Rams. So, I mean, he can call me out all he wants. I'm not sold on them. This is going to be a good test. But I'm not going to be one of these people that if they beat Tampa Bay or Tampa Bay, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, look at the Rams. No, I need to see a little bit
You
more.
just had a whole 10 minutes of saying these teams have beaten nobody. And if the Rams don't beat the Bucs, that's a somebody. You don't buy the Rams. They beat the Buccaneers, who are unstoppable right now.
The Chicago Bears beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year.
Oh my God. You just went a whole 10 minutes saying the Broncos haven't played anybody. The Raiders haven't played, anybody.
Yeah, but that's different standards. That's the Raiders and the Broncos. This is the LA Rams.
This
the
is
LA
a
Rams that have been
Buccaneers,
hyped.
Fernando.
The LA Rams have been hyped for years. Oh my God.
And
We got Jared Goff. We got Aaron Donald. Todd Gurley.
You don't think the Rams beat a team like the Buccaneers, who are probably the best team in football? You don't give them like, okay, these are for real.
Okay, I got you on that one. Last year, Jared Goff and the LA Rams went into Tampa and they beat them. They beat the brakes off of them in Monday Night Football. At the end, what does that matter?
It doesn't make any sense how you're saying these teams are beating nobody, but then when it's time to play somebody, you're not gonna give them credit.
No, but I'm saying like that's how much respect I have for the Rams. I'm saying like the Rams.
All right. So it's different meters.
Kind of tier.
I gotta figure out, right? You got the Triller meter, you got the.
I got different meters for everything, but this is what I'm saying. Like if we're looking at this like this, last year New Orleans and the Rams beat the brakes off of the Rams or off of the Oh wow, the Padres have just fired their farm director. So my bad.
You gotta stop the show for that. Who cares?
Sorry, it just like popped out. I thought fire, and I thought I was waiting for it to be somebody else. We'll get into that in a little bit, but no, I this is my thing. The last year they beat the brakes off of them, and the Buccaneers still end up going to the Super Bowl. So I mean, I'd give a little bit more credit to the Rams, but I just don't know if I don't know how much it's gonna mean in the end, But hey, I mean, I guess the consolation prize during the season, I mean, that'd be cool. I guess. I don't know.
Wow, Fernando.
I'm a tough critic.
I was gonna say you go from
if you're not the Chiefs and you're not the Bucs, like to me, it's kind of like nah.
You're kind of an easy critic when it comes to movies. You grade everything really high, but with football,
I don't. I'm a hard critic. I'm a hard critic. Just because it has the word Star Wars in front of it doesn't mean it's gonna get an automatic A.
If it has Marvel produced by, I feel like
no. I have some. There are some Marvel movies that haven't done well.
All right, okay, Fernando, but I don't know. I feel like if the Rams beat the Buccaneers, I'm gonna buy some good stock there because. Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp have been lining it up. I see the chemistry. Every time I watch them play together, we have Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. That defense looking okay so far. So, yeah, it's really early right now. But if they beat the Buccaneers, who look unbeatable right now, man, Tom Brady, what he's doing right now, and 44 years old. By the way, was this game in Tampa Bay?
No, it's in LA.
Okay, all right. It's in LA, so a little easier for them, but. I'm going to buy some stock because I think that you beat the Buccaneers right now the way they're playing with the chemistry. You're forgetting about that. The Buccaneers didn't have chemistry a year ago. Now they do. They are on track. I'm going to, take you seriously.
I wonder if the Rams are going to have more celebrities than the Chargers did over the weekend. Chargers had some good ones. They had Conor McGregor. They had Magic Johnson, LeBron James. They had Jamie Foxx. They had some good ones. I wonder how that get. And they had Jerry Jones in attendance. Who's bigger than Jerry?
Jerry West, a different Jerry.
Oh, Jerry West. There you go. They had Jerry West too. And
don't forget the TikTokers and the influencers.
I don't know who they are.
The family. I can't remember the family, but it was funny because
at one point,
Milo,
whatever.
I don't know, but at one point the camera zoomed into the family. Like, oh, here's the TikTok family.
They weren't even there, right?
The two girls who were famous for being, on TikTok weren't even.
You should ask Dan and Dago how he feels about them showing them. No, you shouldn't. Never mind. It's a dangerous matchup, but so that's a matchup that I'm really interested in. The other one is.
Can I pick one?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Come on, Fernando.
Sorry, I apologize.
I want to say the Rams. I don't care what they do. They're not going to show me anything.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, I'll say it from Raiders Dolphins because they're not playing. Who's the backup?
Even if they did, even if Tua, I think Tua's question. I think he has bruised ribs.
You know what? Okay, and then we can, looking at the schedule, Chiefs Chargers are gonna be pretty good. I know I'm.
But that one
we'll get that later.
Thursday. Wait till Thursday.
Yeah, let's plug the show on Thursday.
Thursday afternoon, we will be having our preview show with Compas on the Beat. Our preview show for the game on this weekend. Both of us will be in attendance in Kansas City. that should be a good one. Gilbert, what are we doing Saturday? We're gonna go get some barbecue.
Yeah, but we gotta figure out where. Are we going to Gates?
I think Popper really wants to hang out with us this weekend.
We'll see.
He was like, where are we gonna go? Where do you want to get barbecue? I'm like, oh wow, okay. I'm like, Popper loves the Compas, so there you go.
We gotta get Jeff Miller too. Get the whole gang together.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is Dylan going?
I don't know. So yeah, so maybe the next week's show we'll have a bunch of stories.
I know. Maybe we hang out with Old God again and we get wraps and barbecue with him.
We'll see, man.
And Jeff Miller pays him, gives him that shot of tequila.
Don't keep reminding him because I know Jeff doesn't want to pay that. But you know what? Looking at the schedule, the sneaky kind of good one. Maybe I'm reaching here, but the Buffalo Bills finally woke up, and the Washington football team. They won a game, Taylor Heineke, and it was pretty fun to watch. So, I'll go with that one. I look at the schedule, and it wasn't too many big games. I think I saw, Vikings, Seahawks, maybe Saints.
Sunday night game is going to be pretty interesting. Packers at 49ers.
Oh yeah, but I just go with that one. Yeah, I don't know if I could buy the 49ers yet. They're 2-0. And it's just what's going on with Jimmy G. Like I feel like he's not getting the 49ers offense to score. The defense is doing okay besides so many injuries. Like their cornerbacks, like tough break for Jason Verrett.
And then George Kittle hasn't really gotten off to a hot start.
Yeah,
by the way, I was going to tell you real quick. I don't know if you've seen the rumor, but supposedly Tampa Bay has reached out to Richard Sherman and that he could possibly be a free agent signing for them. So that'd be pretty interesting going back to like him still being a free agent. But my bad. I just thought I'd throw that little nugget out there.
Well, 49ers need a cornerback, so but I know.
By the way, I'm very disappointed, Gilbert. I mean, I hope we can make it back to the hotel on Sunday because you know what Sunday is? Extreme Rules, and I really want to watch that pay-per-view. So hopefully we make it.
I was surprised you didn't throw it into the script. No, Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair.
I get to break it down next week, Gilbert. That's what I'm excited for. But Gilbert, I hope you acknowledged him this month. I ask you every month. Have you acknowledged him?
No.
You haven't acknowledged your tribal chief?
No, because I've been focusing on AEW.
I know you haven't watched one damn episode of AEW. But your tribal chief will not be happy.
We'll get on the show and then I'll acknowledge Roman Reigns. But why are we getting sidetracked
on the show? I throw so much crap your way; it'd be so funny.
Yeah, you'd be like, "Yes, I praise you." Like
that's my tribal chief.
You try to be a tough critic, but then you're bound down to the rest of it.
No. I'm not a tough critic when it comes with WWE. I'm a tough critic, but my tribal chief has done very good job. And then the wise man, the right hand man to the tribal chief, Paul Heyman, has been incredible. So yeah,
I like to have Paul Heyman on. He seems like an interesting guy. So
the energy between Paul Heyman and myself on this show, I think it'd be too much to handle. I really do think it would be.
Yeah, because you guys are loud talkers, and Fernando, you're really random. We were supposed to talk week 3, but I am ready to move on because these games or whatever. But no, I think for the 49ers to kind of wrap that up, you're 2-0, but when do you start Trey Lance,
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, now we have to talk about something else. We're going to talk a little baseball. I feel like we don't talk enough baseball on here.
Baseball.
Gilbert, I have a pretty big take on what happened over the weekend. There was this video of Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. kind of going at it. So here's the clip.
Whoa.
So obviously Tatis had struck out. And so he was getting pissed off. Tingler got thrown out. So then Machado starts going at it with Tatis. That's what people started making it seem like. Oh, they're going at it. But in my opinion, it was not like that. I don't see it that way, Gilbert. I saw it as Manny Machado is a leader stepping up and telling this young player. Where you have to remember, Tatis is only 22 years old. Machado's the leader. That's why he was brought into the Padres. I know whatever happened with the Baltimore Orioles, whatever happened with the LA Dodgers, I know people don't see him as a leader, whatever. I covered him for a couple of years down right here in San Diego. And I'll tell you one thing, Manny Machado is a leader. He's a leader of this team. That's why he was brought in. Right here, he's trying to just tell him, hey, dude, calm down, relax. It's not about you. It's about us. They're only a couple of games away from the wild card, Gilbert. And they're really blowing this. They're blowing it right now. There's talks about maybe Jay Singler getting fired. Maybe AJ Preller, the general manager, gets fired. And now it's really a question of what is going on with this team. This team was supposed to be a World Series contender, and now they're not even going to be a wild card contender, especially with all these blown games and everything they lost. I think they got swept over the weekend, and their owner was there. So it's not a good look for Chase Singler to get thrown out. They get swept, and then your owner's in attendance. So, and like I told you a little bit ago, they just fired their farm system manager. So, hey, maybe there's some more firings are coming. But I saw this as a leader stepping up, trying to tell a young buck, bro, relax. It's all good. Just chill out. It's not about you. You need to chill out, because Tatis was close into getting thrown out of the game. So it's just him trying to calm him down. And besides, when he got signed, I remember Tatis said, "This is my big brother. I'll listen to him. He's a guy that you listen to because you know that he knows."
Right there.
Yeah. So what'd you say?
He didn't listen right there.
Well, yeah, because he's fired up. He's a young buck. I mean,
all right, Fernando, are you done trying to defend your Padres
No.
harmony?
I'm not trying to defend anything. I'm just trying to say this is
all right. That's enough,
leadership.
Fernando. Last week you had a dig at the Dodgers World Series championship, and now I'm just smiling here, seeing your Padres melt down when they have so many new faces. They're gonna beat the Dodgers finally. San Diego runs Southern California.
You know me, I would never say that.
But now your Padres are melting, falling apart. I'm a big fan of Tatis Jr. And yeah, you're right. He's a young guy. He's got to figure that out, because when you're on a playoff race, you cannot risk being thrown out when you're the best player on the team. But part of me kind of is like, all right, Padres, what happened to all this talk? Trying to discredit the Dodgers championship, but the Dodgers are going to the playoffs once again, Fernando. So
they're not gonna win anything.
Okay, we'll see. But I kind of hate to do this because Adrian Garcia Marquez is our boy, but I feel like we cursed.
Read it out loud. I can't read. Can you read it out loud?
Can I finish my segment? Jesus. And I may, because you want me to stop me from saying this, but I think we cursed the Padres, because I'm gonna blame it on you, Fernando. You put Adrian Garcia Marquez on the spot when he came on Compas on the beat, and you said, "Are the Padres gonna win it all?" And he goes, "Yes, the Padres are gonna win the World Series." And then he's like, "Wait, what did I just do?" And he started kind of backtracking. So I think you started the curse right there, Fernando.
Can you read this, Gilbert, for me? I can't read sometimes.
Oh my. Okay. Just a thought from someone who played a sport professionally. Manny Machado is a leader, and this is whatever. You guys are still not in the playoffs. This is a fight for me, and I am over this topic.
This is not a fight.
Harmony. No. The Padres, your San Diego team, is not in the playoffs. They are 4 games behind the second wildcard spot. Yeah, somebody get mad, because
shout out to Rich Orenberger, by the way. He's a great guy.
This team has been a total disappointment. So I like the shouting.
They totally have been. I think heads need to roll. I think it's one of those things where no, it needs to. I mean, look, you go right now to the standings, and they're behind St. Louis, Atlanta, and now Cincinnati. Yeah, they're out of this. Yeah, there's no way they're gonna catch up. Look at that.
You know what's funny, Fernando? I like how we come on this baseball playoff race segment, and I try to pretend like I know everything. I just look at the standings this morning. I haven't been following baseball at all.
I just follow it because I think it's interesting. I love this time of baseball. I mean, hopefully one day I know you have connections. I know you have connections at Chavez Ravine. If you can get us playoff tickets, that'd be awesome. I'd go with you.
Well, even if they don't play the Padres,
I don't care. They're not going to play. The Padres are done. They're cooked. I'll go back outside and grab my smoker, and I'll show you they're cooked.
Finally got you riled up. I like it.
No, I'm just saying, like, I know they've been cooked for a while. I mean, it's bad. I mean, and that's the thing, is that I wondered, and I kind of asked. I remember asking, like, oh, hey, when Jay Stingler got hired, I'm like, what does he do well? And the first thing that I got told is, oh, he speaks Spanish, and I'm like,
he does.
Okay. And well, he's young. He could hopefully, and I mean, I've heard this crap before. I heard it with Mike McCoy as well. He's young. He can connect with the players, this and that and that. And I'm like, where to get you? I mean,
can you do?
And that's the thing is that, like, you look at this, like a couple of months ago, the Padres were like beating everybody up. They were like, they had beaten the Dodgers, I think 7 out of 9 games and everything. And the Dodgers, I think, have swept them the last 2 times that they played, or not swept, but I think it was like 3 out of 4. And then, then a sweep. So yeah, I know it's been ugly. But it's like, who are you going to bring in? Bruce Bochy? Like, what's going to happen with that? Like, I don't know. It's just interesting. But so I've asked people around, because I'm like, hey, and who's a team that like you look at and maybe could be a surprise team in the playoffs? Everybody keeps on pointing at Milwaukee. My cousin Little Daniel, shout out again. Little Daniel keeps me up to date on all this baseball stuff, and he always tells me, he's like, be careful with Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a dangerous team going into these playoffs.
Look at the Giants. They never fell apart. 97 wins. I am very shocked.
And I thought they were going to fall apart after the what is it? Chris Bryant's on that team now too. I thought they were going to fall apart after the All-Star break, and no, they've kept it clean.
One game ahead of the Dodgers. The Dodgers are a wild card team right now because the Giants have been that good.
I know, and the season's about to end, so that's going to be interesting to see who down the stretch ends up winning. But it's
Look at us talking baseball, Fernando. We're so diverse, and we could do it. We could do it all.
We're all about it. So I'm all about this. I don't know though. I mean, this is going to be really interesting to see like what ends up happening with this. But man, look at that! Like Milwaukee 91, San Francisco. I guess at the end of this, we could have 100 wins on the season. So can you imagine if both the Dodgers and the San Francisco end up with 100 wins, and the Dodgers have to go play the wild card game because of that? That's just rough. Really, and I already know who's going to be in that one playoff wild card game. It's going to be Scherzer. Scherzer's going to be the pitcher. You already know that.
So they will play the Cardinals right now?
I believe so. Yeah, because Milwaukee jumps them, because I think Milwaukee's winning the division. So
this is me showing my baseball knowledge. Is it a 1-game takeoff? I forget for the wild
I think
card?
it's a 1 game. Yeah, it's a 1 game.
Wow. And you don't want that after winning 100 games, a 1 game.
No, because anything can happen in that game. It's crazy. But I mean, let's just for it's and giggles. I can't say it's and giggles. Let's look at the
crap show though.
I can say crap show. I'm gonna get that trademarked. Wow. Tampa Bay, Houston, Boston. Dude, they're like, nobody's clinched anything on this side, and over here, these guys have already clinched.
Look at the American League East. I mean, West. Wow, what is going on with me? The East is the Rays are still at the top, and then the Red Sox, Blue Jays, and the Yankees all in the same division fighting one another.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
But I'm assuming Yankee fans are really stressed out right now because the Blue Jays are half
the Yankees, remember, had won like 13 games in a row, and then all of a sudden, ever since winning those 13 games, they've kind of fallen off a little bit. So there's a lot of frustration, I'm guessing, in New York with some of this stuff. But man, this has been pretty interesting. But look at us talking next, Gilbert. We're going to be talking about baseball. I know it.
Baseball, yeah. Let's do it in October. Yeah,
basketball.
October is about baseball playoffs and Oktoberfest drinking beers.
There you go. And then we'll talk basketball pretty soon too. You know, we're going to talk some basketball. I mean,
basketball doesn't start after Christmas, so we got time.
You're talking about because of man. Imagine a year from now, a year and 2 months from now, we're going to be talking World Cup in November, December.
All right, you lost me on that.
That's when they're gonna.
I never thought I would say. Let's get to Uno Mas. Let's not talk to soccer. Let's get to Dan and Dago.
Ooh, I like that, Gilbert. You want to talk to Dan and Dago?
I'd rather talk to Dan than talk soccer.
Let's go. Okay, let's go now with Dan and Dago with Una Mas.
It is time for Una Mas, and they're letting your boy over here on for this one. Yours truly, Dan and Dago, Fernando, and El Pardo, the Compas. We will have a very, very important discussion about who's the best Batman and who is the worst. And there have been some very bad ones, but you'll hear my thoughts on the worst Dark Knight. So let's not waste any more time. It's time for the best segment in the universe. And don't forget to hit us up if you want to sponsor Una Mas. I'm looking at you, Delta Airlines. You got many shout outs from the Compas in their previous episode after the Chargers game. But now, let's get to Una Más.
So, guys, we asked Dan and Dago to stay for this next segment. I think he's gonna like this. Dan, let me tell you just a little bit of a backstory. So, I saw in World Star they asked a certain question, and let me just bring it up. They asked which Batman is best, and before you answer, I need to ask you a question. Who do you think Gilbert likes as the best Batman?
All right. Your boy Dan and Dago's here. Although sad, it's Whiskey Sours Wednesday. We lost.
Get over it, Dan.
So let's see what we're doing.
Week 3, Dan.
Huh?
Week 3. Get over it. Move on.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm on to the next one, like Billy says. Let's see. I know he is the absolute worst person with his takes. So he's going to like the most hated one just because he's a nincompoop over there. I'm going to go with I want to say I'm going to go with he honestly probably loves either Ben Affleck or George Clooney, one of those two. And those two are literally the worst ones.
What did I tell you?
I'm a huge Batman fan. I got my 2 posters up here.
Or before Gilbert defends himself, who do you think is the best Batman?
Who do I think is the best Batman?
Yeah.
So easy.
What'd you say?
It's gonna be easy. I already know. I know.
Hold on. Since you got to guess Gilbert, who do you think he's gonna say?
Who do you think?
Christian Bale. He has to say that.
I don't have to say anything.
Give him your answer.
For me, you know what? It's just super tough because, in all honesty, I grew up watching Michael Keaton's Batmans. So Batman and Batman, I think the second one's Returns. I just love him. Like, I loved his performance in all of them. I think he's a great actor. I love the villains that they had for him. I was very engaged in all three, in both movies. So I was super, like, I grew up. That's in my childhood, that's my Batman. And you know what? I think the only thing I really didn't like about Christian Bale's Batman was I didn't like how he was some like playboy who didn't understand anything about the real world. Like, how could he really continue to make money if he was just some heir who didn't know anything? Like, at one point he took over the company, and I thought Michael Keaton's Batman brought a little bit more of elegance to the Bruce Wayne character also. So you know what? I'm gonna go with my childhood. I'm gonna go with Michael Keaton, even though I understand a lot of people don't like those movies because it doesn't have the razzle dazzle of like the explosions and all that.
All right, Gilbert. I muted Dan and Dago.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for doing that. I don't know you could do that. That's a good little feature function there. I am shocked that Dan and Dago likes elegance. There's nothing elegant about Dan and Dago. Sorry, we're friends. I forget it. We gotta take that.
Do I have to go downstairs and get my shovel to help you bury me further?
I have to at least one little shot. You're bashing my my Batman take, guessing that I was gonna like the worst one. No, I don't like Ben Affleck. He is by far the worst one. I don't know this Twilight guy, the guy who I just figured out was in Harry Potter.
Robert Pattinson.
Okay, Robert guy. We don't know yet. He looks like he might be bad just by looking at him, but I shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But I cannot defend Ben Affleck. Yes, I like some of the Zack Snyder's Justice League, but he was the worst thing in that movie, Justice League. But Dan, you kind of also know me a little bit because I kind of like the George Clooney.
I knew it. I knew it.
I don't know.
George Clooney is going to be the one for you.
Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, like
it had a superb cast. Yeah,
it was a good cast.
Dan and Dago had a crush on Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy.
Dude, that was my first
Okay, Gilbert. Let's
wait. What was the question again?
Who's your Batman?
Oh yeah, no, but George Clooney wasn't as bad, but obviously, like I was telling Dan, you have to go Christian Bale. He's not elegant enough for you, but he was doing good things for the community. He likes to throw some money. He had a crush on this one girl who didn't like him, who liked Two-Face. So I felt bad for the guy, but Christian Bale was a great actor.
That's true.
We had a great villain and Joker. the guy who died. I'm really blanking on his
Heath
name.
Ledger.
Ledger,
Ledger.
terrible
I
person.
gotta remember the names. But
Gilbert, I'll give you $5 if you can tell me what the girl, his love interest name is.
no clue. I won't even
There's
go
two
there.
different actresses. It's almost easy money, dude.
What's her name?
Rachel.
Rachel. She looks like a Kate Upton to me. I don't know, or a Katie Taylor. I don't know what.
No, it was Katie Holmes.
Okay, I knew it. I knew it was a Kate. Okay.
But if they weren't on Love Is Blind, then you'd really know their names by memory, huh? Not reality TV,
Anyway.
trash TV.
I'm not done, okay? But I won't give Christian Bale movies a 100% avocado rating. The first one's a little shaky for me. The whole hiding with the ninjas movie was a little weird, but coming back with Joker and Two-Face and Bane was great.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest difference. That was the setup. That's why he got a trilogy.
I have to go. Okay.
Well, Dan wants to chime in. What's up?
Well, this isn't a okay. So obviously, like to me, I mean, do I have to be different, or can I be the same?
No, you can do whatever you
Be
want.
who you are.
You know what's? I thought Adam West Batman was actually really good. Do you know why?
He's not even on there.
Yeah, he is. He's the first one, dude.
That's him? Oh, that is him.
Oh my goodness!
Kapow, kick, hit. That was I used to love that kind of Batman. I remember when Dan and Dago and I would go spend like time during the summer in Guadalajara. That was a movie we'd watch often. Was the Adam West Batman and Robin?
Wasn't it a TV show?
Yeah, there was a TV show for about 3 or 4 seasons. I remember when he passed away in LA, they had the bat signal up in the sky, which was actually pretty awesome. But Adam West to me was incredible, but I just think Christian Bale's Batman was incredible as well. I just thought it was awesome. You guys, obviously small-minded people, do not understand what Batman Begins is all about. It's in the title, Begins. That's how he learned how to fight. That's how he learned how to become stealth, because he was trained with the League of well, they call it the League of Shadows, but I call it the League of Assassins because that's what they call it.
The League of Shadows is way better. I hate that League of Assassins crap.
The League of Assassins sounds way better, but whatever. So with Ra's al Ghul. So obviously, that's how you learn about everything that's going on in the Batman universe. It's funny because I think I don't think they were done by DC. I think they were done by Warner Brothers. So that's why these movies were so good. The Suicide Squad, Zack Snyder's Batman vs Superman, they were all done by DC. So that's why they were terrible. Christopher Nolan really put his finger on it. He knew exactly what people wanted to see. I just thought those 3 movies were incredible. I thought Christian Bale's, I mean, he went from American Psycho to doing this stuff. He did the
Mechanist or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. He's done incredible things. I'll tell you one thing. The thing that he's done that's incredible is the losing weight and gaining weight for each of these movies. Like he would lose weight for other roles. Like he did the boxing movie, the fighter. He did the fighter. Movie. He did the machinist. He did all these things where he had to lose a crap ton of weight and then gain it all back to being Batman. So Christian Bale's Batman to me was awesome. I heard rumors that he's been thinking about coming back and maybe doing something now that they're traveling to other universes and doing these other Earths. So I think it'd be interesting to see it. But I just think Christian Bale is awesome. I've heard good things, Gilbert, when you talk about Robert Pattinson's Batman. I've heard really good things about that. Some fans have already gotten screenings of those movies to kind of test it out and see how they like it. Supposedly it's very good. I don't know if you guys heard, but what's his name? The guy from Daredevil, the one that had the
Colin Farrell. Colin
Farrell. Colin Farrell's the bad guy. He's the Penguin in this upcoming Batman.
Really? Another great actor
Supposedly, he's getting his own spin-off show. They're doing a Cracklepot, is that his name?
No, Oswald Cobblepot.
Cobblepot. They're doing a show called Cobblepot, and it's supposed to be off of the Penguin. So that's going to be very interesting. But yeah, no, I know Christian Bale's going to be the bad guy in the new Thor movie. So that's going to be very interesting to see him as a villain. But yeah.
Wait, he's the bad guy in the new Thor movie?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's going to be the bad guy in the new. They've already shown. I think I've already seen pictures, and it's pretty interesting.
Man,
yeah, no. You can't go wrong with Adam West. You can't go wrong with Christian Bale. You can't go wrong with Michael Keaton. By the way, in the new Flash movie, Michael Keaton's supposed to come back as his own Batman. So that's going to be very interesting to watch.
I'm gonna be so hyped. You're gonna be so hyped.
So yeah, that's going to be very interesting.
Well, can we decide now who is the worst? Are we in agreement as Ben Affleck, or are we going to go Val Kilmer, George Clooney? Who are we going with?
I think we got a bigger sample size. I thought we got a bigger sample size of Ben Affleck, and I thought his was just atrocious. George Clooney kind of fits the Bruce Wayne.
Side.
He fits the Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And I feel like Val Kilmer fits the Batman a little bit more. So I mean, they fit something, but Ben Affleck just looked misplaced. He didn't look like he was a good Batman at all. Val Kilmer's Batman is good just because it's I kind of did like the whole Tommy Lee Jones and
Jim Carrey
and Jim Carrey. I thought that was pretty fun.
That one.
Yeah, so I definitely think Ben Affleck's the worst one.
I agree 100%.
Oh my bad.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, I just can't take the guy serious. Even when I know he has to do like the raspy "I am Batman" voice. He can't even get that right. He just, the Justice League. He almost single-handedly ruined that movie for me. But I thought that was okay, the entire cast. But I think we finally agree on one thing: Christian Bale, is the best one, I guess, kind of, and then Ben Affleck is the worst for sure.
And then one thing too, like you could tell, I think Batman versus Superman came out first, right?
Yeah.
And then in that one, they didn't even let him try and make some voice. He had some robotic, like auto-tune voice.
Actually, I think Suicide Squad was his first. Was when he first came out as Batman.
Oh no! But in that one, he comes out just as Bruce Wayne talking to the lady.
No, don't you remember? They
but he's in there for like a second.
Well, yeah, him and Killshot fighting. It was him and Killshot fighting, and then him and the Joker fighting. So they showed a little bit. That's where you've got your first glimpse of it.
Okay, but the first like legit one where even like the whole movie is Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even have his own Batman movie.
So they were gonna do it, but at the end of the day, I think Ben Affleck wanted way too much money. They didn't think the storyline was good enough.
No,
it was just a mess. But Robert Pattinson's Batman, I'm interested to see because I wonder who Alfred's gonna be. I wonder how they're gonna mix in kind of what we've already seen from Bruce Wayne and Batman, and what they're gonna do with this because the movie looks dark. Like
it looks like a lot darker than Burton style.
Yeah, it looks a lot darker than any Batman movie I think I've ever seen. So I'm really interested to see the way they kind of put this movie together.
And you know what? He's a good actor too. I saw
Robert Pattinson's not bad.
The King, he was really good, and then the one with Tom Holland where he's in the South, he's a preacher. I think it's like The Devil All the Time or something like that on Netflix. He also had a good performance in there, so he at least has some talent that's going to be interesting to watch. Then I think he had great reviews after The Lighthouse or whatever with William Dafoe. I never saw it personally, but I've heard good things about it.
Man, but I keep looking at that Batman and Robin cast. Like even the chick from Clueless was in it as Batgirl. Like they had everybody in that movie, and they even had a Robin in there.
Yeah,
I can't even name the guy, but he's in there.
Yeah, that's the only thing we were robbed. We never really saw. We saw Robin for like 2 movies, but we never got like a Nightwing, a Batwing, and then we got Batgirl for like half a movie. That's about it.
Was in that?
Huh?
Val Kilmer was in Batman and Robin too?
No, Val Kilmer was in Batman Forever. That's the one where
I just looked up the cast. He was in there.
He decides to give up being Batman because he can't take being Bruce. Like he wanted to have he wanted to fall in love with Nicole Kidman, and he knew that he couldn't do that being Batman and being Bruce Wayne. So he decides to be Bruce Wayne. He lets the Riddler and Two-Face win, and then he sees that, oh hey, you know what, the city needs me, the people need me, and obviously they took my honey away, so they kidnapped her, so I have to go rescue her.
Well, that's the introduction of Robin too, of Dick Grayson.
Yeah. So
Dick Grayson and all that stuff, and how that all unfolds.
In the second movie, they're just both fighting over Poison Ivy. So I love the part. The part that's funny is that they start like bidding on her, and then he goes 2 million, 3 million. I'll borrow from you 4 million. You don't have it, 5 million. And then
you don't have it. Wow.
Batman brings out his Visa, or his American Express Batman.
Yeah. It was
like
so
black card.
cartoony.
So it was
good though.
Pretty interesting. Yeah, no.
It was entertaining at least. At least it wasn't like Batman vs Superman or anything like that lacked like the writing and all that stuff. Like at least the other one was a lot easier to follow. But you know what? I agree something with you, Gilberto, that the Zack Snyder cut was a lot better. I liked it a lot more.
Yeah, Fernando doesn't like it.
I fell asleep.
Although the only thing I didn't like was that it took out one of my favorite scenes from the original Justice League. When Superman grabs Batman and he looks at him all angry, he's like, "Tell me, do you bleed?" I was like, "Oh, dude!" Like I was so hyped in the theater for that. And then like they take it out in the Snyder cut, and I was like, "Damn it!" Like that was one of the best lines in there.
I didn't really notice it. They're kind of were they totally different, right? Besides that one part that they took out, or were they trying to mix it in?
And then they added a lot more stuff.
Okay,
No, they took that line out because remember, I think supposedly in the timeline, right? The last time they saw each other was Batman versus Superman, where he takes where he gets killed or whatever by that monster. And then, but in that whole thing, like that's one of the lines Batman tells him. He's like, "Tell me, do you bleed?" And then he comes back because when they revive him, he comes back like a little bit wild. He doesn't remember or whatever. And he repeats him that same line, obviously knowing like he could snap Bruce Wayne's neck in a second, like it wouldn't even be a joke.
Yeah, I like that how dominant they made Superman and that Zack Snyder cut. Like he's like the best of the best.
Oh
but, yeah. I know for now I hated the length of it, but I stuck it out and I thought I was entertained. It was good action. Yeah, obviously.
Well, you know what? You know what too is that in that movie we actually get to know who the bad guys like backstory or his motivations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like in the original,
kind of like the Avengers a little bit, but
yeah, like in the original cut, it's just kind of like, oh, he's here to do the bidding for whoever, and then he like gets killed or whatever. And it's like you didn't know like what his motivations were or anything. And at least in the Marvel movies, you kind of see glimpses of Thanos through the movies, so you get like a little window. Then obviously, Infinity War was a little bit more of an origin story for him. But it made a lot more sense, like in that way, like building up to it.
Yeah. Before I let you guys go, I feel like we're dragging on here. I don't know if you guys are gonna like this, but I think I'm starting to like some DC content. I started watching Doom Patrol on HBO Max. It's a pretty good show. Have you guys seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Check it out, and it's DC. So I don't know if you guys will like it.
No, we're not against DC. We just think that DC's done a terrible job presenting these movies. They've done a terrible job of putting things together. I think Suicide Squad 2 was probably their first real good attempt at doing something well. I thought Wonder Woman 84 was terrible.
Oh, I never saw it.
I watched it. I thought it was really bad. I thought Gal Gadot's I didn't understand why the villain the villain what he was doing, like messing with time, and I was just like, dude, this is so dumb. Like, and it sucks because Gal Gadot could actually be a really good Wonder Woman, but it was just all bad. But no, we're willing to watch anything DC. I mean, I love Batman's probably my favorite. Batman and Captain America are probably two of my favorite like heroes in the whole thing. So I mean, I'm down to watch whatever. It's just that. I mean, DC just hasn't done a good job with their presentations.
Yeah, no, they're lagging.
Give it a chance, though. I think Brendan Fraser, George of the Jungle, he's in it. He's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I recently saw him in another HBO movie where he was like a mob guy with Don Cheadle and damn, what's his name? Is Benicio del Toro the director, or what's the actor's name?
No, that's the director or the actor.
Yeah, they were in a mob movie on HBO Max. Oh, I can't believe I'm blanking on the name. But like, I saw him in there. I'm like, holy crap! Is that like the guy from George of the Jungle and the Mummy? Like, he looks so different.
He's making a comeback for some reason. He's like reviving his career, and he's really good at it. He's actually like the star.
Yeah, good for him, honestly. Yeah. Well, I loved. Like, everyone hated the Mummy movies, but I loved them. Like,
I like the Mummy movies. The Rock was in it. The Scorpion King.
Gilbert, get out of
here with that garbage.
because you gave me Manifest, I'm gonna trust you on that, and I'll probably end up checking it out.
Yeah, you guys bash my takes, but sometimes I come through, guys.
For shows, not movies, dude.
I've told Dan and Dago he needs to watch Manifest, and he's like, I'll check it out soon. So I think he's finishing The Crown, and then he's
The Crown. I'm on The Crown right now.
Well, but yeah, I know we're dragging on here, but I've been wanting to check that out. Isn't it a little slow? Do you kind of have to go through some bumps and bruises?
No, hold on. Before you answer that, give him the description that you gave me. What kind of a show is it?
Oh my God, it's a highbrow Kardashian. It's just it's like if the one percenters made reality TV, like this is what it would be. Like their version of trash TV for us.
For the Kardashians, okay.
Yeah, like like when you watch the show, right? There's like right now I'm in season 4, and it's around the 80s. And at least to my recollection, during the 80s, there was a lot of IRA violence and stuff like that. Like that was a big movement, at least back then, to my recollection again. And then there's the Cold War and all that stuff. Like, but like I'm wasting episodes on like some of the royal family's personal problems and like random. Like I get it's about the crown, but like, are you telling me the crown never like thought, especially because one of the crown member, I guess it's been out for a while, but one of the crown members.
No spoilers.
Okay, fine. But like, you know what I mean? Like there's bigger problems in England, the United Kingdom, than like, oh, Princess Margaret can't marry who she wants. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the time. And then a lot of the things too that you see is like, you're like, dude, what do you have to complain about? Like, then another thing, it's very high school-ish, you know what I mean? Because they're so sheltered and protected, the royal family, that like you could tell the difference when they're out in public to when they're behind closed doors, at least on the show, right? So it's at least very interesting. It gives you like a window. I don't know how much of it is real, but at least it's it.
No. You put him on mute. All right, Dan, you're done. But right. Fernando, I gotta go enjoy my day off. But because I gave a show, Dan and Dale gave a show. Can you give us a show? Why are you slacking here, Fernando?
No, well, I'm trying to enjoy my day off, and it seems like you guys are just talking about shows. You know what I just watched, and I just finished Agent Carter. You need to check it out. It's pretty good. Right. The only thing that I got pissed off at is at the ending.
No spoiler.
No, I know. The ending, they leave something.
The show's been out for like 4 or 5 years.
No, I barely watched Harry Potter.
But they leave it on a cliffhanger. The final episode, and you're like, okay. And then there's no season 3, and they just asked the actress about it. They're like, oh, do you expect there to be a season 3 now that other shows are getting revitalized? She disappointingly said, no, I think what we saw in Avengers Endgame is good. Steve and Peggy got their dance. Why would we want to? And I'm like, dude, are you kidding? Like, you left it on a cliffhanger. How can we not get another season of this? But
where can I find this show, by the way? I feel like I've never heard of it.
Disney Plus.
Okay.
Agent Carter. It's pretty good.
It's the ending for The Sopranos. They leave you on a cliffhanger and you don't know what
happened. She's the love interest of Steve Rogers.
Who?
Steve Rogers, Captain America.
God. Phil. You
have not seen the first Avenger? Like,
I don't remember the name. I can barely remember Katie Holmes' names. Okay,
you did it. You failed.
We lost Fernando's video picture. Where'd he go?
I don't know. He got cut. Now it's just Dan and Dave.
Yeah.
So apparently, the referee is out. So now it's time to throw some haymakers.
But can we finally end this show?
Okay, I muted them both because they've been talking too much. I need to get no, I'm just kidding. So okay, so I would recommend Agent Carter, Gilbert, Manifest, and that new DC show. Dan, it's not even 12 o'clock and you're already drinking. Dan is obviously recommending The Crown. So okay, we got to get going because Gilbert and I want to enjoy our days off. So Gilbert, you know what? For the time being, it's time. Vámonos.
Ya nos vamos, pues vámonos.